Hello class, hope you're doing well. Today we're going to be talking about tonal drawing. So for today's exercises and drawings, I want you to have two tools. You can have your eraser, and charcoal with a K. You also may need a razor blade or an X-Acto knife to cut this to make it sharp once again. So what do I mean by tonal drawing? For these drawings, you're not going to be doing any line work. You're going to be drawing simple objects, and you're going to be creating the illusion of that object with just value alone. Okay, just value, no line work, no hard edges, no contour line. Okay, so first thing I want to do is tone my paper down. I'm going to put two objects on this sheet. I'm doing this with a horizontal composition so I can have two objects, one on the left, one on the right. So I'm going to go ahead and tone down the whole paper. And I'm not going to go too dark. I'm going to get to a, like I said, like maybe a light medium value. So when you're toning down your drawing paper, and I want you to use drawing paper for this assignment, you also have to blend this in. So before you start drawing. So take your rag, right? Cotton rag, t-shirt, and just blend this in. Blend it in because what we want is this to be nice and smooth. I'm going top to bottom, left to right, diagonal. Trying to blend this all in so it's nice and smooth. So the first object we're going to draw, I want you to get a box. Some kind of a box. It could be a cardboard box. I don't care about the graphics or any image that's on the box. We're just going to be drawing just the box shape. So get us warmed up. So what I'm looking at when I'm looking at my cube over here is with the lighting that I have, I've definitely got three separate tonal values. The lightest is on the top, the darkest is to the right, and somewhere in the middle is on the left side. So, and also I want to draw the shadow. Shadow that's coming off the box there. So when we do these tonal drawings, it's important that you have a good light source. This room I'm drawing in is pretty flat light. For you, I'd like you to set up a light to the left or the right, strong light source. But for the sake of this demo, I have to have these bright lights on. Okay, so what I want to focus on is I'm going to look at the darkest shape, and I'm going to use a piece of charcoal. I can break this down, a small piece. And I just want to focus on drawing that shape. Make sure you can see this. I just want to draw that simple shape of the shadow. Now I'm going to go over and I'm going to draw the next shape. It's going to be this size, this side of the box, and I'm going to draw that. But also I'm going to go a little bit lighter because it is lighter. The point of this assignment is I'm noticing on many of your drawings there's still a too much of an emphasis on hard edges on the drawings, and I want you to focus on finding edges by the difference between light and dark. That's what we're trying to achieve. You get the line from the difference, light and dark. I didn't draw that line. And that's how lines exist, is the difference between shadow and light. Okay? You're trying to keep everything nice and flat and even. I can always break my material down a little smaller And again, make sure you're using the charcoal with a K. If you're using the compressed charcoal, the really hard charcoal sticks, you're gonna struggle, okay? Charcoal with a K, soft pastel. So in order to make this look a little lighter, maybe I'll take this just a little bit darker. Okay. Now I'm gonna draw the top of the box, so I'm gonna go over to my eraser. You can cut your erasers down like I just did here to have a more manageable edge, because I want to be able to get nice sharp clean marks. Anytime I want to take the top maybe just a little bit darker, I can just blend some charcoal back into that. Blend this in a little bit. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put the shadow that's falling on the left side of this. So that shadow is maybe just a little bit darker than this. The light that I have in here, the shadow is not a real hard shadow, it's a soft shadow. And the background that I'm looking at on my drawing is actually a little bit darker than it is here, so maybe I'll darken this background up just a little bit. Okay, so that's what I want to see. Basic, soft tones. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 tones makes this up. There's no contour lines, there's no drawn edges. It's just the edges are made by the difference between light and dark. And so what I want to see is the object and the shadow. Okay, object and the shadow. Okay, so next up, get yourself a bottle, a cylinder. First thing is, I just need to, like I said, we're going to draw this bottle, not necessarily by drawing the ellipses and drawing those kind of shapes firsthand. It's just a different type of drawing. We're just trying to identify flat shapes. So with this is 3 separate flat shapes. This, however, reflected light, it is going to have a series of flat shapes. So tonal drawing is not a very detailed drawing. I just want to see the light and shadow, and I want you to avoid contour line. So I'm going to start at the bottom of the bottle. I want to visually, I only have this much room to work in. So I'm going to start low on the page. If you make a little mistake, try not to just jump and go and erase it. Just leave it. Let it be, because we're going to be blending this in and we're going to refine it, okay? So I'm just trying to get looking at the silhouette of the bottle. Like I said, I'm just drawing the flat shapes. We're simplifying at first. So I noticed that the top of the neck is quite a bit darker. I might have went up a little too high with this. Like I said, if you need to make any kind of changes, you just blend it in. Just blend it in and work back over it. So maybe instead of going up that high, I'll go maybe this high. Okay, so there's my basic bottle shape. So when I'm looking at this, I notice it's really dark down here at the bottom. This is all kind of a mid-value. It gets to the neck, it's really dark again. Not quite as dark as this, but pretty dark. So let me show you my object I'm drawing from again. Okay. Now I'm going to start dividing and conquering. What I mean by that is I'm going to work my way up Work my way back down, looking for subtle changes of value. Alright, so tell you what we're looking at this drawing I just finished. Like I said, here's my still life. You can see all the light, you know, from the top ceiling lights, you know, trying to capture that in the drawing. I could probably take these a little bit lighter because those should be the brightest things on the drawing, is the highlights, very brightest spots. If I go too bright on something, I can always knock it down a little bit like this. You know, if something's too bright. So getting fine details like this, you have to be really subtle, right? Find just a little mark for a line. You gotta find these little highlights. Like I said, this isn't a really high detailed drawing. It's just finding the basic shadows and shapes. Okay? So I want you to have a glass object. We have a cube, we got a glass cylinder object. And I'm going to do one more demo for you, and then you're going to pick the other two. Okay, so next up, I want you to draw a regular household light bulb. Okay? I'm going to put this on my table. So I can do this several different ways. I think with this one, because the light bulb itself is white, it's lighter than my background. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this one a little different. I'm going to draw the outside area. I'm going to draw, this should be maybe a little bit bigger. I say I'm going to draw the silhouette. I'm going to draw the area around. So maybe I'll take this all a little bit darker. I can fill in the rest of that later for my demo. So I'm going to blend this in a little bit more. So I'm going to start from here. Okay, I think I'm pretty much done with this study. Like I said, I want you to spend roughly 35-45 minutes. The more complicated these get, the more time it's going to take. So we're going to do 2 more drawings after this. This is the last demonstration I'm giving. I want you to pick objects that are simple objects, simple shapes you're used to drawing. So like I said, we went from a cube to a bottle to a light bulb. Maybe do the aluminum can again. That would be a good object to do. Maybe some other kind of glass cylinder or glass dome bowl shape, or literally just draw a bowl. That would be a good one, like a bowl. Some other kind of dish maybe would work well. A spoon would be good Just simple shiny objects, okay? For the next two. Like I said, focus on value, the difference between light and dark. Do not put any contour lines or any hard edges. Keep everything nice and smooth and soft focus. And just focus on the difference in value. Oh, and just use the charcoal with a K and an eraser, okay? And make sure you're toning down your paper. Okay guys, till next time.